Hey guys, Matt from Total MTG here, and it's Deck Tech Tuesday. So this week I've got a little brew for you. It's a bit of a casual kind of deck. It's Torrential Fog. Now, you can probably guess what may be in the deck from what I just said. Could have something with torrential in it and could be some fog effects. So without further ado, let's have a look at my brew. So, we only ran 3 creatures in this deck, and those 3 are all Torrential Gearhulk. So we need something to slow our opponents down. Authority of Consuls. Great 1-drop. We're going to run 3 of these. Creatures your opponent control enter the battlefield tapped. When they do, you gain a life. Very good against the Saheeli combo. Makes them all coming tapped. You know, that deck is very prevalent at the moment. But they're probably the best deck at the moment. It's Mardu Vehicle, so hopefully we'll slow them down a bit as well. We're going to run 3 of them. So, one of our win cons. Fevered Visions. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, at the beginning of each player's end step, let's read it right. The player draws a card. If the player is your opponent and has more than 4 cards, 4 or more, this deals 2 damage to them. So, Fevered Visions, great against Planeswalkers, just great overall. If you can get a couple of these on, drawing your cards, finding what the cards you need, and obviously it does let our opponent draw cards, but dealing that damage every turn is very good as well if you can. Couple of mana fixing, because we are multi-colours here. We are green, white, red and blue, so we need a little bit of mana fixing. Draws a card, Prophetic Prism as well. Pay 1 tap for any colour. We've got 3 of them. Our next win con is Dynavolt Tower. I love Dynavolt Tower. I love building around this card. When you cast an instant or sorcery, you get 2 energy counters, pay 5, 3 damage to target creature or player. So you can decide where you want to put this, whether you want to hit that Saheeli, whether you want to hit a different kind of Planeswalker, Liliana, anything like that. Dynavolt Towers are very, very good. We got 4 of them. As I said, we run just the 3 creatures, and they are Torrential Gearhulks. 3 of these, 4 double blue. It's got flash, it's a 5/6. When it enters, you may cast a instant card without paying its mana cost. Absolutely great card, Torrential Gearhulk. It's probably was my favourite card from Kaladesh. We're going to run 3 of them. Maybe want to up it to 4. Might bring a 4th one in, but at the moment I'm trying it out with 3. Tested today, worked pretty well. Played a couple of guys, a couple of friends today. And yeah, the deck works really well. I played Mono Black Aetherborn, and I played my friend James's blue-black artifact control deck. Played really well. Glimmer of Genius. Scry 2, then draw 2 cards. You get 2 energy counters. So, yeah, this helps us find what we need. Gets us some energy counters for Dynavolt Tower, which is always important as well. Especially when you've got multiple, Dynavolt Towers on the field. You get basically 2, 4, 6, 8 energy counters. You can do lots of damage. So we've got some Glimmers, 4 of them. And then we get on, we've had the Torrential, now we get on to the Fog part. We've got 11 Fogs in total. The first one is Commencement of Festivities. Prevent all combat damage that will be dealt to players this turn. So, this is pretty good. Won't affect, obviously, with the Dynavolt Towers or anything like that, because that's not combat damage. We got 4 of these. And Circling Fissure. Prevent all combat damage that will be dealt to turn by creatures target opponent controls. So we want to try and protect ourselves. It's Circling Fissure. We can also awaken this if we need to, but it's just good as a basic old fog. And we run 4 of them. Our next fog is Repel the Abominable. Prevent all damage that will be dealt this turn by non-human sources. So this is prevent all damage. So you've got to be careful when you click your certain stuff, doing damage to people, because this prevents all damage that will be dealt by non-human sources. And obviously our Fevered Visions and Dynavolt Towers are non-human sources. So you've got to be careful when you play. We're going to run 3 of these, not 4, just because it is, it does go against us sometimes, but obviously we want fogs. This gives us another 3 and makes it go to 11. Then we run 3 Fateful Showdown. These have been sitting in my folder for ages because, they're okay, but they've got to be in the right type of deck. A Fateful Showdown deals damage to target creature player equal to the number of cards in your hand. Discard all those cards and then you draw that many cards. So these, can do a great amount of damage. You've got your Fevered Visions there, you're going to be drawing lots of cards. And what you would like to do in an ideal world is maybe chain one of these onto another one. You know, you can do a lot of damage. Faithful Shadow come down, maybe you've got 7 cards now, bang, do 7 damage, get another one, bang. While that's on the stack, you know, you draw, you can play another one, and basically just do a lot of damage to people, and maybe kill them in one turn, if possible. You'll also then be getting energy counters on your Dynavolt towers. When you're casting these, flip them out, more damage. You can see how the decks works. You know, it's a bit of a chain reaction deck. You might have to hold out with your fogs, hold out, and then all of a sudden just sort of, oh, it's not a combo deck, but you know what I mean when I say just combo off with lots and lots of stuff, and basically try and win the game from there. So we had 3 of them, and I traded this off Connor a while back. I've got a use for my 1 foil Wildest Dreams. This, you know, can get back all our fogs, as many as we want, or maybe Fateful Showdowns or something, maybe even a Torrential Gearhulk. This returns X target cards from your graveyard to your hand, and then you have to exile it, but I love the foil on this as well. And it means I get to use it in this deck. So there's a few cards that I don't usually use, or quite a few cards in this deck that I wouldn't use in my normal standard decks. But this is, you know, just as a one-off. Maybe I want to up it to 2, because when I used it, it got back me, you know, Torrential Gearhulks and stuff like that, and it's really, really good. Also, you know, comboing off Torrential Gearhulk, if you've got a lot of cards in hand, getting back a Fateful Showdown, doing that kind of thing. If you don't, you know, reoccurring the fogs with the Torrential Gearhulk is brilliant as well. We've got plenty of ways to recur these 11 fogs with the Gearhulks. You've got a lot of tools in your toolbox. That's what I'm going to say with this deck. If you can hold out, and it's all about holding out sometimes, I thought about adding maybe a Fumigator, maybe a couple of Fumigates in, but I haven't really got space for it at the moment. So maybe they will make the main board. I've got one in the sideboard, I think I have. But yeah, this is it. Let me just have a quick look at... Here it is. Quick look at the mana base. Now the mana base is, you know, we're running 4 colours. We got a few land creatures as well, which, you know, can help us out at very important stages. Wandering Infernals, Lumbering Falls, the Hex Push 3/3, Needle Spires. You can see another Lumbering Falls there. Ether Hubs, Evolving Wilds, Botanicals, Inspiring, you know, a few basics there as well. I will leave a list below of this deck as always, so you can go and check it all out. But yeah, the mana base, you know, a lot of it might come in tapped, but it's very, you know, we need this kind of mana base for this deck. We're running 4 colours, for God's sake. And we wanted some of the creature lands as well. But yeah, this is the deck, guys. I'll go onto the sideboard in a minute. But like I said, the plan is, you know, prevent all damage as much as you can. And with the sideboard as well that you'll see in a minute, we've got some, you know, very powerful cards in that we like to protect. And, you know, some Planeswalkers. And if we can protect the Planeswalkers, you know, with the prevent combat damage and stuff like that, once they, you know, if you can protect them to their emblems, it'd be very, very strong. Like I say, I've only played the 2 decks at the moment, you know, very aggro-y sort of decks. But it did perform, you know, rather well. I was quite happy with it. As a, you know, it is a casual brew. I know you guys like seeing casual brews as well. So let's get on to the sideboards. Originally I had these in the main, but I wanted, you know, I had the idea of Torrential Gearhulk in this deck and recurring lots of stuff, so that's the way I went with it. But Deadlock's Trap is very good as well, coming from the sideboard. When it's about, you get 2 energy counters, and you can tap to pay an energy counter, target creature or planeswalker. Activated abilities can't be activated, so that's, you know, a very good card, Deadlock. We have a couple of negates, counter target non-creature spell. Like I said, 1 Fumigate in the sideboard, maybe you can make it 1 main board, but it's looking for me what to drop out at the moment. There's nothing, you know, its deck's running pretty cool at the moment. If anything, I'd like to add in a Fateful Showdown, maybe than one of these. Quarantine Field, good for like exile in the field. Radiant Flames, so you can see we've got a lot of removal in the sideboard that we can bring in. Couple of Void Shatters. Another win con, separate win con as well when you're playing control decks or anything like that. Sphinx of the Final Word. Flying Hexproof can't be countered. It makes our instant sorcery spells, so they can't be countered by spells or ability. So that makes the Fogs, you know, uncounterable, which is pretty good. So Sphinx is a great sideboard. And like I said, we have in the sideboard as well some Planeswalkers. If we can protect them, Jace's Emblem, you know, when they can't cast their first spell, each time it gets countered, really good. And of course the emblem on Challenger, Torch of a Defiance. You get an emblem whenever you cast a spell, emblem does 5 damage to target creature or player. And that is just, well, that's just I win the game, basically, most of the time, isn't it? So that is the sideboard. So you can see we can flip into the sideboard. The sideboard probably, you know, those 15 cards probably cost a lot more than the 60 in the main deck, to be honest. I may be wrong. But yeah, this is the fun deck that I've made this week, guys. I hope you like it. It's Torrential Fog. You know, there's a lot of aggro in the meta at the moment. But if you can just draw your fog effects with holdouts and then keep recurring them, whack them with some big Fateful Showdowns, your Dynavolt Tower and Fever Vision, get them to draw those cards and just do loads of damage. That's what the game plan is. Anyway, guys, this has been Deck Tech Tuesday. Any suggestions for the deck, leave it in the comments below as always. And just give it a big thumbs up, that always helps. Thanks a lot for all your support, guys, as always. Thanks a lot, see you again soon.